Yeah, so we'll be responding to this okay, fucked up already. Wait a second. It's Gnostic anti-natalist. Why FLism anti-life is really stupid. So yeah, we'll respond to some of this crap. Cause,
Hello there, brothers and sisters.
but first I want to talk about like the lukewarm pigeon commented on my previous video, and like I feel you, I feel you, man. It's like it's uh, it's pretty discouraging that they're never gonna like. I can say it now. They're never gonna get it. Never. So what about the people who do get it? Is they're the only like the hard way out? And I would say mm, it's in a sense it's all just the hard way out. Like, I mean, there's difference. Don't get me wrong. This is why I fight for the right to a peaceful exit. There's difference that you have like different ways to die, but when you're alive and conscious and you've spent a lot of time here, and that's one of the arguments I made too. The more you live, the harder it will be to get out. The younger you go, the better. But yeah, these people are never gonna get that, so no point in even bringing that up. So yeah, so it's going to be you're gonna have to detach from this life, whatever you have been doing here. There's always some sort of attachment, right? So I would say when it comes to methods, right? Like we can't discuss it on YouTube because they're just gonna put it down. So there's no point in that. But there are methods, like different methods, which you can look for yourself, like in the peaceful pill. And also we do a Zoom like every Tuesday with Joey. It's Joey Casey's Zoom. The best, man. It's like you can talk about anything. You know, it's like the place to, the only place where you can talk about anything. And we go deep down into methods. And yeah, he's a great guy. I've done some interviews, a couple of interviews on his on the collapsing with Casey. I'll link it down below the channel. Go ahead, like subscribe to that channel. Real talk. He knows what's going on. That's being a whistleblower. Very good stuff. Shout out Joey. So yeah, hop on the Zooms and do it now. Do it like act fast, right? You get the means, the surety that yeah, when like now it's my time. I have my method. I have it all sorted out. This is the way to go. And yeah, even like a lot of the ingredient, because I'm too like stuck in the same dilemma, right? I'm trying to find ingredients, but basically I live on paycheck to paycheck, and I can't, like, it's hard for me to save because I have I'm doing university and I'm doing work at the same time, and then I have to deal with my parents as well every now and then, once in a month. So yeah, it's like I can't like uh, it's hard for me to save. So for the stuff, for the kits, you're gonna need money, you know. So yeah, that's why, like, if like anybody can help me out with my checkout, I'll link my PayPal down. So what any help would be appreciated. So yeah, this is one of the things. It's hard to it's just it's a tough question because, like, yeah, it's all like, let's say there's just one way. Like, you've got two options. Like, either you jump and drown, or behind you there's a lion. He's gonna eat you up. So now what do, right? You're stuck. Either you be eaten by a lion and die, or you drown and die. So it's there's just, you have to choose and it's inevitable. You're gonna die anyways. So that's the whole. That's one of the key points. Nobody counter argues that you're all gonna die anyways. What the fuck are we still doing here? But yeah, they just don't get it. So yeah, it's the hard way out. I mean, your comment was I would like to read out that comment. It was like I reacted to it, but YouTube just it's gone now. I can't see it on my video. Oh, but yeah, like just get on the zooms. We'll discuss like everything, where you are, all that stuff, and what kind of methods you can choose, what's your budget, all that, choose the best method for yourself. And yeah, it would be, even if I give you the Nembutal, right? You have the Nembutal in your hand. There's still always a little bit of hesitancy before. I won't say hesitancy. That's the wrong word. But a little bit of sadness, I would say. There it comes in the sense that, oh man, I'm not gonna be alive anymore. Yeah, that you still have to get over that. So that's still hard in a sense. But yeah, it's like curse the parents, man. Curse, like they all these people say, oh, you're just you're just pointing out problems and this and that, and you're so negative, and you just want to talk about bad stuff. And I'm like, no, dude, this is. I'm just talking about the reality, and if it offends you, curse your fucking parents. They brought you here. They gave you. They imposed life on you. So they did the crime. I'm not doing the crime telling you the truth. There's no crime by me telling you the truth. They've done the crime by exposing you in a world where the guarantee is death. Death. So yeah, let's start with this this stripe. I haven't listened to it, but let's see how it is. Because
So I want to talk tonight about why ephilism is fucking stupid, and why it's actually more dumb than natalism is in many.
he's Atheism is fucking stupid, and it's more dumb than natalism. The opposite of natalism, like as far as you can go, is I would say promodalism is the as far as you can go, the opposite of natalism. But he's saying they're equally stupid. That you've uh, that leaving a planet, keeping a planet lifeless, is actually stupid. Is the same is as same as stupid as keeping a planet full of sentient beings chasing addictions. He's saying they're the same.
Respects. I'll explain why very clearly. So, the distinction between antinatalism and ephilism is, in my mind, quite a drastic, clear-cut one. There's many antinatalists who are ephilists. Not all of them are ephilists, though. So personally, I say F ephilism. Fuck ephilism.
Fuck you. Okay, done.
Ephilism is basically where people are against all life entirely.
Atheism is recognizing the reality of sentient life existing on planet Earth. It's recognizing the true fact, recognizing the consequence of evolution, the consequence how it affects sentient life which perpetuates to exist. That's atheism. And yeah, we're it's also like once you recognize the truth, the conclusion is promodalism, that yeah, life is a bad idea. It should be ended. It shouldn't be perpetuated. Which, like, if everything becomes like, if you apply the antinatalism to all sentient life, that's eventually that's also the end. That's the end too. If there's no reproduction, then there's no sentient life anymore on this planet. So just a slow version of Efilism, I would say. But like, anyways, let's see what else he has to say.
Not only in this particular world, but in all other possible worlds. They just, in other words,
All other possible worlds, like, okay, let's look at the ones that we can see instead of making shit up. Like Mars. Mars is a world, right? So sand, rocks, Earth, Holocaust, animals tearing each other apart, you know, rape, murder, destruction, cruelty. Atheists are saying, yeah, the Mars is better. Mars, there's no life, no sentient life. Yeah, that's better because there's no suffering. There's peace. So,
there are people who believe in the non-existence fairy tale.
oh God, non-existence fairy tale. So where were you before you were born? You, in the sense, this, like, when you're existing, right? When you're alive, you're in existence. We when we say a you, an agent, right? This thing, that's a specific conglomeration of atoms in a pattern that is being being in existence. You know, this specific arrangement of atoms creates uh, the sensations of consciousness and awareness and sentience, which is the key thing. So, what do you mean by the fairy tale of non-existence? What's that? What's the fairy tale there? So there's a so there's a fairy tale on Mars. Like there's no sentient beings, right? Non-existence. That's what we're talking about. There could have been, right? Could have been if evolution happened on Mars. But there aren't. So that's non-existence. Now you can say, oh, but rocks are alive too. So, or this is alive too, or sand is alive too because they're existing. No, that doesn't matter. The thing what matters is sentience and the consciousness, like self-awareness and the ability to feel pain, have feelings.
Which I've covered in another video and will cover in many more as time goes on. But not only do they believe in this non-existence fairy tale, quite often ethelists promote this idea of intentionally wiping out all life, like in some nuclear blast or some bullshit like that. Like purposefully annihilating all life. So there's so many fucking problems to this. I'll just begin at one point. This will take many videos to cover how dumb this is as an ideology. So antinatalism only extends to the point of, in this particular world, in this particular current context we're in, where there's suffering at a high risk, and there's a guarantee of this suffering in any life form you bring into it. In this particular context, it is best to not bring more life into this particular world.
Done. So he agrees that yeah, Earth is a bad place for sentient beings to exist because, uh, on Earth, sentient beings continue to if they continue to exist, they cause suffering and there's a risk of suffering. So, yeah, that's the only context that's relevant.
However, antinatalists are not necessarily against all life or all possible forms of life.
All possible. Who cares? Who cares if there's robots on some planet doing the transformer thing and killing and destroying? Who cares? They're not sentient. That's the key thing. And it's like, what kind of other life? Like, let's say, like, this is like very stupid. One of the arguments I heard from Benatar to that. It's like, oh, if there is zero suffering, then I'd be indifferent for you to have a kid or no kid, right? I'd be indifferent. So it's like if there's no suffering, it's then there's just robots. Then there's just machines, non-sentient machines fighting, warring. I would still say it's stupid existing. This whole thing is existence is stupid. It's all just like all we know is that we wake up, like we arrive here, and that's it. All right, I'm alive, I'm living, and then we all just die. That's all what we know. Like basics, like we know a lot of other like the mechanics of the universe, but the basics are these. So if there's just robots and they're just fighting on some other planet, killing and nuclear warring each other, who cares? They're not sentient. Then if somebody blows that planet up, I would be indifferent. And if somebody lets it perpetuate, I'd be indifferent. Maybe I'd still say blowing it up is better because, like, come on, like, it's all just stupid. Come on. But whatever. It doesn't matter.
Because we recognize the only issue is pain to sentience. It's
Pain is. If you're sentient, you're capable of feelings, right? And feelings existing in the on earth, feeling things existing on earth is negative because they will suffer, like it's inevitable. So yes, sentience shouldn't exist. Like if there's a like again, I can burn robots, right? I can burn functional robots. Doesn't matter. They don't feel. But if I burn an animal, yeah, it does matter because it will feel pain, and that should be prevented.
not sentience itself that's the issue. You could easily have a gazillion fucking other possible worlds where you have.
Who cares? Oh my God. Gazillion. What? Sentience will exist on planet Earth tomorrow. Why does it need to exist? Answer this question. What's the necessity for it? I can give you a necessity for its cessation. Yeah, if it ceases to exist, then yeah, there's a win because it prevents all the future suffering. What's the necessity for it perpetuating?
Have sentience in all sorts of fucking forms where there is no pain, there's only pleasure and various.
Yo, he believes in this fairy tale that there's no such thing as pleasure. You enjoy a good meal because you were hungry. You like having sex, you like the orgasm because you were horny. And being hungry and horny is a negative state of being because you're being deprived of something. So once your deprivation is removed, you feel pleasure. But it's only pleasure because you were deprivated. You wanted it, you needed it. That's a negative thing. That's what sentience is. It's feeling things, having sensations, and having needs and wants for no need. There's nothing. It's not necessary. Again, you can't make an argument for the necessity of life to exist in this universe. Can't make that argument.
Degrees of pleasure with no pain at all. And then your absolute lowest baseline is just what? A neutral state where you're not necessarily feeling specifically positive pleasure, but you're not feeling pain.
That's when you're dead. That's a neutral is when you are weren't born, like 100 years ago before you were born. Do you agree you were in a neutral state, right? You didn't feel pain. There wasn't a you. There wasn't this consciousness that existed, right? The atoms that you're made of, yeah, they existed. All the bits, they existed before, but they didn't exist in this arrangement that we call the brain, central nervous system, pain receptors, feelings. They didn't exist in that arrangement. And it was caused by your fucking parents. That arrangement existing was caused by the perpetuation, by reproduction of sentient life. That's the problem.
And there's easy ways that such a world could exist or manifest or be existing right now. And this is where the distinction, the very clear distinction, between ephilism and antinatalism kicks in, and between Gnostic.
The distinction between ephilism and antinatal, how I see it, like the antinatalists get the, like, yeah, it shouldn't be, we shouldn't have, it's negative, birth is negative. They, with when ephilism comes, as like it extends to all other sentient beings. Birth of all other sentient beings is also negative. Yes. Be consistent. That's the only difference. And even Benatar agrees with this. The anti, one of the big hitters of the antinatalist community.
Antinatalism and various versions of atheistic antinatalism, in the sense that we have
Gnosticism, again, like this is, they just made it into a religion. It's sad.
we clearly recognize that the goal needs to be to ensure life does continue.
So that's the main, like, this is why I always give this distinction. Either you are pro-life or you're pro-modalist. There's no in-betweens. This guy is pro-life. There's no need to call yourself like, he's a pro-life anti-natalist. Nothing, basically. The principle is flawed. The principle should be pro-modalist. The principle should be pro-non-existence. That should be the principle. The principle should be Mars better, Earth worse. That's it. So he's saying we should ensure the perpetuation of life. And a minute ago he made that risk. I think he said the risk thing. That, yeah, it's at the risk of suffering. So how do you get rid of the risk argument if you perpetuate life? What are you gonna do? Well, let's say you make something that doesn't get hungry, doesn't get horny. Like, it's still, the universe will kill it. Come on. Like, these forces, it will end. Why make it and it will end? Why perpetuate it when it will end anyways? Like, what are the counter arguments to this? This is your argument for why why ephilism is stupid? This? Natalists make better arguments than this. How about I say that?
But in a pleasured state with pain gone. Okay?
Life continues to exist, but in a pleasured state with pain gone. Again, if you can guarantee that, that there would be no risk of suffering, then yeah, I don't have a problem with torturing robots. I don't have a problem. Do it all you want. I don't have a problem if somebody just blows up a planet full of robots. Nah, I don't even have a problem. I'll be indifferent.
Whereas ethilists, with the dumbass ideology they bought into, with all due respect to the other views they may have that are good, but that one particular view is fucking stupid. So that view of ephilism involves...
A minute you said ephilism is stupid, now you're saying a specific view is stupid. That is very inconsistent.
This idea of just eliminating all life entirely. And even
Why is that a bad thing? I mean, it's just sort of like, oh, this is such a Well, eliminating life. This is one of the clues of a pro-lifer. Oh, you wanna kill life? Oh, that's a big. You're aborting. Abortion is killing life while they eat dead animals. This is such crap. Such crap.
Even in the context of this life right here, the biggest problem with that is this. And I'll just explain it very clearly. So we know from the science of evolution, from the evidence we have on this, there's loads, mountains literally, of evidence for evolution. So we know this is the case. And this is how life gradually developed on this earth and ever more sentient life, right? So if the world were to intentionally be blown up, with nukes or whatever, you're literally purposefully setting everything back to that original state, and you're pretty much guaranteed millions of years down the road to have, or maybe even sooner, to have life reemerge.
So this is what he's saying. I've heard this argument many times. It's a complete crock of shit. First of all, it's gonna end anyways, right? Life will cease to exist. All life, all of it. If you think otherwise, you're stupid. And second is when you're saying that we're gonna leave it in this condition where, like, if a planet becomes uninhabitable, like, we don't know if, like, even you have to agree on this, we don't know whether life could emerge again and whether it be sentient neurons, and like, we don't know that, right? And we don't know that it just won't ever emerge too, right? Let's make it more simpler in that way. Why do you think that if it ceases to exist now, it will exist again in a million years? And let's say that, okay, there's a risk of it arising again. Why do we need to torture quintillions of sentient animals on Earth? Why can't just a few hundred humans live, or 50 humans live, and just sit down on moon and say, all right, let's just wait, let's see whether life will re-emerge or not. Okay, oh, it's not re-emerging. Okay, it's been 100 years now, it's not re-emerging. It's been 1,000 years now, it's not re-emerging. I mean, do you understand how stupid this argument is? Like, or you can just make a bunch of AI robots which invest in that, which just go out and kill life. Whenever it emerges, it just poof again. So first of all, he doesn't even know the collapse that we're headed to, right? This is gonna happen very soon, anyways. When the nukes go out, it's gonna end anyways. When the planet heats up, aerosol masking, global dimming, it's gonna end anyways, pretty soon. Like, so they're still pro life. They're still pro life. It's just so much crap.
From basic forms all the way up back.
And there, it's a very low probability. Like, we've been living on this planet for like how many billions of years, right? And we just have an evidence of one DNA molecule. There wasn't another life form that another, the, what do you call that? Another kind of a DNA molecule, of a molecule replicating. There hasn't been another one of that in billions of years. So what do you think the odds are of that, from basic form, it developing into sentience again? That's very that it was a specific set of conditions in which that happened. Those conditions happening again is very improbable. It's like, you could, it's once we take out Earth, we're pretty much done. This is, and again, this is what another argument that I make is, this is what's in our power, and this is what we can do. There's no reason to go down in the dragon tales of, oh, maybe some other planet is suffering more, we'll go and save them, or this bullshit like that. We have Earth, we have the evidence for Earth. We know if it continues to exist tomorrow, life, there will be suffering. And if it doesn't, there won't be. Done. It's that simple. No need to make extra shit and make it complicated. Or maybe life could arise again, or maybe we'll have another form of brain, or maybe this, or maybe that, or blah 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 blah. While billions of quintillions of animals are being tortured.
Something else, caveman or something like that, some other sentient, intelligent form eventually, right? That's just
No, 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 right. No, it won't happen again. It's just it's highly improbable for it to for those conditions to happen again. And intelligence existing again, yeah, that's even more improbable. Like neurons, uh, it was a one-time event, one-time event. Everything had to be perfect. The conditions had to be perfect, and for those conditions there had to be causes in that fall that follow the effects, right? That's like it's very improbable.
going to eventually then have all the same problems we're having now. Again.
It's gonna have the same problems we're having now again. So I would say it could have even worse problems, right? And that's the whole thing. If life exists, it's always at the risk of what kind of problems sentient beings could go through. So it shouldn't exist. That's syphilis.
And it's going to be because their dumbasses tried to speed up the process of destroying fucking everything, and they didn't have enough foresight to see how fucking stupid that is. It's like, okay, we've got technology right now, and we're on the cusp of being able to have technology that can actually eliminate excruciating pain from the nervous.
That can actually eliminate excruciating pain from the nervous system. Again, like yeah, let's make everybody lepers. Yeah, you see, we don't feel pain. Like, you still are gonna die. You're still are gonna be annihilated. You still, the universe is still gonna end you. It's gonna end you. It doesn't matter if you make a technology that, like, even if you make a virtual fucking reality, right? Like, there's no just brains in a virtual world. It still needs some electricity or some other bullshit like that, and it's you still have to, like, it's still gonna end it, like, there's the the universe will end it eventually.
Nervous system of humans and animals and pretty much every other form that has a nervous system. So pain to the
nervous system is the problem, because nervous system will always be at the risk of experiencing suffering. Brains and nervous system are the problem. They're the problem. They what do you mean when we say imposing pain on someone, right? It means that you're imposing a negative feeling on someone. You're 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 harming someone by hitting them or by hurting them in some way, by saying to them something or whatever. Now I can hit a, a robot. I'm let's say my intention is I'm gonna cause you pain. Hit the robot. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The robot doesn't feel pain. Doesn't have a nervous system. But if I kick a sentient being with a nervous system, yeah, that then it's wrong. That's the the problem is this whole brain and the uh, illusion of being of I have to live, or I am living, or I gotta eat, or I gotta do this, do that, all this stuff. That is the problem. That brain existing in a universe, in a world where it will be always be at a risk of experiencing pain. And whatever technology you people have, you can't get it. Like these people say, yeah, we've got it all covered out. Like nothing goes glitch in the technology, right? So there's always risk. You cannot ever defeat the risk argument for the perpetuation of life. Like if life will perpetuate, there's always a risk of suffering. If life ceases to exist, there's no risk.
System, excruciating levels of it, are literally the main fucking thing you have to adjust and get rid of. And that can only be done technologically. So why the fuck would you reset the world back to bacteria?
Again, we won't reset it to that, right? It's and even if we do, there has to be some like one-time events happened that created all of this. One-time events. We don't see them happening again and again in the other universe, which is even older than us, most of it. So this is what? We're not resetting it back to anything. We're ending. We're seeing, yeah, the system existing. Yeah, evolution has a lot of fucking victims, sentient victims, and we see. Look at Mars. The system isn't existing. Back Mars is at the reset the the reset condition on Mars. We say, yeah, it's better. There's no suffering. Done. And it's not perpetual. Like, come on, get real. There's no. You need things happening in certain specific way at a specific time, and that causing a chain of events, and then that causing a chain of events. All of that has to happen for the DNA molecule to emerge and replicate. It's it's very improbable.
Dinosaurs and then fucking cavemen and shit like that. When you could just.
He thinks that that's gonna happen. Why hasn't it happened on Mars yet? Then why hasn't it happened on Moon yet? Huh? Why? Because the conditions, the conditions aren't favorable for life, and that's all what we have to do. We have to make Earth uninhabitable as peacefully as we can, as gracefully as we can, so that life can never emerge again.
Use the technology you have to fix the nervous system to where you eliminate the pain of the nervous system.
Again, even if that's the argument, I would say, yeah, make it for the beings who are already alive, right? Why do you need to make more? Again, what's the necessity for its perpetuation? Give me a necessity for animals. Again, like with that I've been going to man, it's gotten cold and depressing here, and it's like, and then you go to university and you see these assholes, just pure assholes everywhere. Even the people I live, everybody's just complete fucking asshole. And you see the way they behave. They're just like animals. I just couldn't like. In the class in the morning today, I was just looking at the way that these people behave, just doing mundane bullshit and doing this crap, and I'm like, well, and for like no nothing like for silly stupid jokes, stupid stuff. Like they're just animals. Then they get hungry, they eat, then they take a shit. They're just animals.
Why the fuck would you just destroy all life before you achieve that? That's
Destroy all life. So wait. Let's say we achieved that. Let's say we achieved that. Can we destroy life then? What's the counter argument? Why is it a bad thing that there's no life existing on Mars? Why is it a bad thing? Why is it a negative thing? Why is it a negative thing that mm, my parents didn't have a fifth child? Why was that a negative thing?
It's the stupidest fucking thing anybody can think of. I almost want to punch people in the face when they suggest purposefully destroying what we have now. It's
I want to punch you in the face for your stupidity, for your. I mean, I won't punch you. Like, what's the point? But like, this is a ridiculous argument. You might as well just fart on the screen. It's so ridiculous.
It's really goddamn stupid. For this and many other reasons. This is the big fucking one, though. There's many other reasons why it's fucking
This was the big fucking one. Oh.
dumb on top of that. So this kind of somewhat extends into the other topic of why absolutist antinatalism is also stupid. In other words, effelism is basically absolutist antinatalism, where they're not taking into account other possible forms and versions of life. So you could easily have forms of life where their entire experience of sentience from beginning to end was only pleasurable and various degrees of pleasure. And
That won't ever happen. You need to have the negatives to appreciate the positives. You need to, again, like in Mendem says, I'll quote him, he's really good stuff. You need to walk a mile in the desert for you to really appreciate a glass of water.
then when they pass from that state,
I mean, they fail to even define pleasure, right? Again, in this whole video, he failed to define what pleasure is.
it was a pleasurable passing, to where not any point of that sentience was pained at all whatsoever across the entirety of that sentient experience.
Yeah, then it's robots, right? Robots hitting and having pleasure. Just robots. Just robots smiling. Who cares? I don't care. Destroy it. Let it perpetuate. I'm indifferent. Doesn't matter.
This is not that hard to fucking achieve, and this is what the Gnostics
This is not hard for that to achieve.
claim is that
Gnostics, yeah, this is just like, oh my god, just religion, just make everything into a religion, and yeah, that'll solve it.
worlds like this do in fact exist, and these are the worlds that our sentient forms were actually ripped out of and forced into this bullshit world from.
This is just, there's no evidence for that. What's your evidence that you were in some special world 100 years ago before you were born? Now you can make a convenient argument. Oh, I don't remember it. You just, when you come in this world, you forget all your praise. Like that's just making shit up. That's just you know, talking out of your ass.
Okay? Now, there's a way to stay in those worlds and maintain those, because non-existence isn't something you experience anyway, so the
non-existence is, there's no you. That's what, like, it just pervert the language, right? Non-existent is something you experience. There's no, when we say you are in bliss because you're not alive, that's a metaphorical term, like, you know, like we're using imagination and all that, but that's not the argument, right? It's non-existence basically means no more you. So using you living in non-existence, that's irrational, that's illogical, that you can't make that argument. That's nobody, and that's a straw man.
existence fairy tale is not something to look forward to, because all you're going to be experiencing anyway is sentience in different forms.
Oh, so basically, like, this is what the evidence is, right? You die, right, and you're eaten up by worms and other maggots and shit, or you know, you get eaten up by you know, by a lion or so, and then the lion takes a shit, right? You go in the you go in the digestive system, and then you become into shit. Oh, sentient shit. Look at that sentient shit. Don't hurt that sentient shit.
Yeah, you can quote
this body and brain, that's the only that brain is the only thing which generates an experience machine, so to speak. A brain is an experience machine. So if there's no brain, then there's no experiences. This shit is not experiencing reality. Oh, look, I'm experiencing. Look at me. That shit ain't happening.
But you're gonna just, the molecules that make you up and the atoms are just gonna be sentient in other forms.
It's not gonna be sentient in other forms. What the fuck do you mean it's gonna be sentient in other forms? Like I said, is you'll be sentient shit. What the fuck? Or like let's say you go in the soil and the plants get nutrients, so now you're a plant. No, there's such bullshit argument. That's not how it works. We live. There's a clear there's a there's a clear distinction between existence and non-existence. There's a clear distinction in the sense that once somebody is dead, we say that that experiencer is not here. That brain is not conscious, is not here anymore.
Immediately afterwards, as worms in the dust, as bacteria.
Worms in the dust, so he's saying like this is basically like a stupid, I think, reincarnation argument that this like when you're dead you'll become bacteria and like I don't know, bacteria isn't sentient in the first place anyway, so this is what's your, and it's gonna happen anyways. It's gonna happen anyways. So the only question is why the fuck prolong it? Why? Why? Why?
And then as insects or whatever the fuck else. So the sentience is still gonna be there. It's not gonna be.
No, it's not. You didn't make this is the bullshit. That's not how facts work. This is not an argument. It's not gonna be there. There's no sentience on Mars. Come on, get fucking real.
Non-existent, or the molecules still exist.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They don't exist in the specific arrangement of brain and central nervous system. They don't neurons. They don't exist in that specific arrangement. That's being dead. That is what being dead means. This is not here in this arrangement anymore. I don't know how simple I can make it.
They don't fucking not exist just because your brain and body currently in this form don't exist. And
so he's basically just making a soul argument, right? You have some soul. There's something else here, except from the mechanical universe and all the materialistic universe that we can see. There's something else. Bullshit.
The brain and body you have now is totally fucking different cells from the brain and body you had as a kid. Even if there is no soul, you're already a different life form right now.
You're already a different form right now? What do you mean? I was born a human being through breeding by two other human beings. And I'm still a human being. It's like, yeah, I've grown up. Yeah. It's such a bullshit argument.
You're the same form as before in most cases, but you're literally already a different life form. So the idea that you're
already a different life form. So this guy is very stupid. It's just getting on my nerves now.
Not gonna be a life form and not gonna be a different version of individual you, or multiple versions of it. It's just kind of stupid. It's like you're basically thinking the only thing that's you is the current brain and body. That's it right now.
Yeah. What else? What else is you? The reason that you are saying me It's because you have a brain and a fucking body. You have a brain, you can experience reality. That's why you're saying me. Get it? It's not. There's no. There's no soul. Again, you made the argument for souls, and then you said, "Oh, not about souls."
That's a really dumbass, limited view of yourself, honestly.
Again, there's no such thing as. I make the argument. There's no such thing as you. You is a consequence. Is a, you know, the byproduct of a brain. You know, you saying me, I. That's what evolution did by billions of years through the evolution of the brain, right? It made it conscious.
And it's not a very broad view in terms of how you're connected to every other life form that currently exists and will exist in the future and has existed. So that's the biggest problem with Efilism. The first biggest problem. There's others, which I'll cover later. But to me, it's just fucking mind-boggling that someone who's actually an antinatalist can also support this Efilist idea, because they're not understanding.
For me, it's mind-boggling that there are these pro-life anti-natalists, and I'm just sitting here and thinking, like, what the fuck? How did they get this wrong? Like, pro. He actually wants life to. He actually wants us to ensure the perpetuation of life. That's pro-life. So, like, I don't even know why you would call yourself an anti-natalist if you're pro-life.
The common sense that sentience is for sure going to continue existing, if not on this planet, in other planets and other worlds.
Other planets, other worlds. Alright, we're getting into woo now. It's all gonna be woo soon, I'm guessing. I haven't watched this before.
By eliminating the technology, which is literally our only way to possibly fix this thing at all. Like, actually fucking fix it, not just destroy life. But
if you end. Again, this is. Life is the problem. If you don't understand that, then you are stupid. Life existing is the problem. Fixing it is destroying it, or sanitizing it, or euthanizing it, whatever. That's the fix.
But actually fix the problem of pain to life that comes in. We have the ability, we're on the cusp of being able to actually fix this.
We're on the cusp while the while the planet is heating up, while cutthroat capitalism is, you know, fucking everybody, fucking everything, and all billions of animals in torture cells. They saying it's fine. We're at the cusp. While things haven't gotten better, they've gotten worse. Because there's more. There are more human beings. Like, oh my god.
Shit. Okay? So, let's not purposefully destroy all life. Thank you very much. Let's not fucking do that. Let's use what we have to actually get this technology rolling and improve shit.
So he's basically saying just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Yeah, keep it rolling. Fuck you, pro-lifer.
Okay? And let's lock people's asses up who actually want to fucking destroy all life.
He wants to lock me up. Okay. That's what he's saying. For me to state the fact of reality that life existing, again I've made this, like, I'm getting tired of this now. Life existing on Earth is causing suffering to the sentient beings who are existing on Earth. Life not existing on Mars is not causing suffering. So let's make Earth into Mars as peacefully and gracefully as we can. And he's saying me stating this obvious fact, obvious reality, and trying to fix the problem by causing cessation of sentient life as peacefully and gracefully, and as how minimizing the wreck as much as we can. Should be put in jail.
Because there's people who may actually eventually go through with that shit. If Efilism spreads far enough and people get a hold of nukes or some shit, it's very possible that somebody will actually try to do that shit.
And why would that, if it happens, why, oh my god. First of all, like, yeah, put me in charge of, we, FLists are saying do it right. Do it right. Get cessation done right. That's what FLists are saying. As the best way you can.
It's not that far fucking off. You may even have a governmental leader or some asshole who gets that idea in his head based on FList ideas and actually think
Bullshit. If he's gonna be like FList, where we are making this argument because we have empathy for the fucking victims. So he's saying that the like the president or whatever is making thought experiment there. He gets the FList idea, which is basically have empathy for the sentient beings that exist and that will exist and prevent their suffering. And the best way to prevent their suffering is not let them exist in the first place. So he's making that sound into something bad, horrible, something like that.
thinks it's a good fucking idea. So, no, fuck you assholes who are suggesting this, and with all due respect to the other topics of his
Fuck you too. I think that's enough. I think that's just enough. This is just getting too, and this is why like I have a I've made a video. I'm gonna upload that too later. Of why I'm an anti-natalist, because I love Amanda Oldfan. I love the work she's doing, but because of these anti-natalists, I don't like using the word anti-natalist. That's why I stick to Ephilism. And again, what I say is Ephilism is dissection of reality, of what sentient life is doing on this planet, and promodalism is the conclusion that it should cease to exist. That's it. So yeah, that's just very stupid Gnostic atheist. Very not atheist. Gnostic anti-natalist. Very stupid. So yeah, and yeah, just again check out like this. Let's get real now. We're we're heading for a brick wall pretty soon, right? Human extinction, and so like as an individual, can't do anything about it. So plan your methods, plan your ways, and yeah, if I'm doing that too, but I need money for that. I need to save money for some stuff that I need to buy. And yeah, the only conversation now to be had is the exit methods. That's it, peaceful exits. That's it. Just find your peaceful method, peaceful exit, and plan your execution and execute. Check out.